The Tunisian uprising also resonated with those who had never before participated in public life. In Libya, one group of women told me that they saw Bouazizi's frustration with corruption and oppression in the faces of their own sons. For decades, their families had intentionally remained on the sidelines, trying to stay out of the limelight, hoping to be spared the wrath of the Gaddafi regime, even as the wave of popular unrest was sweeping across the Middle East and into their hometown of Benghazi, Libya. By February of last year, they'd had enough. They realized that they didn't act, another generation of families would have to suffer under Gaddafi. One woman, Amal, told me how agonizing the decision was for her to move from neutrality to advocacy. Her husband begged her not to, but on the morning of February 17, 2011, Amal drove herself to the courthouse in Benghazi, where the beginnings of protest against Gaddafi were taking place. Because she was a lawyer and familiar with the folks who worked in the courthouse, a policeman said, "Miss Amal, it's just a bunch of creepy teenagers. Go home, don't get involved." And so Amal went and got back in her car. She thought about giving up. But then she thought again about her children's future under another generation of Gaddafi. And so as she tells it, she put on her earrings, she put on her shoes, and she marched back out to the courthouse steps, joining her cousin Salwa in being among the first women to join those historic protests which ended up changing the nation of Libya and overturning Gaddafi. The courage of these women led them to a life on the run from Gaddafi's military for weeks, even months, having to move their families from apartment to apartment so that Gaddafi's forces couldn't find them. But today, Amal and Salwa, I'm happy to report, are both working through civil society in Libya, advocating to the National Transition Council to make Libya a better place.